In the last episode, I showed you what a real Morby method actually is. Not the internet version, not the buzzwords, but the real structure. Today, I want to talk to you about something just as important when you should not use a Morby method. Because here's the truth. Morby methods don't fail because they're bad. They fail because people use them in the wrong situations. This episode is about judgment, not creativity, not hype, just judgment. So let's get something straight first. A Morby method is a strategy, and we're going to consider it a tool, just like leverage, seller finance, and DSCR loans. Tools don't create good deals. They only change how risk is distributed. So a good deal, being a Morby method, possible upside. Bad deal plus a Morby method means delayed failure. So if the underlying deal is weak, Morby doesn't save it. It just postpones the consequences. So the first thing that we need to look for in a deal is our red flag number one. The deal only works because payments are deferred. So that's gonna be our red flags. Number one, deferred payments. We like deferred payments, but sometimes they can come back and bite you. If the seller payments start later and breaks the deal, what are you gonna do then? I see this all the time. The DSCR barely clears, seller note is silent, and everyone says we'll refi before the balloon. It's not a plan, that is hope. So you do need to underwrite your exits just as much as you underwrite your entrances. If the deal collapses the moment the seller note turns on, you don't have a deal, you have a time bomb. So red flag number two, no real refinance path. Number two, refi path. Again, another case of underwriting your exit. If you cannot refi this, you're gonna have a problem. And how you fix this is you must answer one question honestly. Will a future lender agree with this story? So some of our questions that we ask are, what is the NOI today? What is our NOI without deferrals? And what is the DSCR after the seller note is cleared? So if our total LTV tolerance causes that to completely break down whenever our balloon is due, we have a problem. If the refinance only works after perfect rent growth, no vacancy, and no expense creep, you're underwriting optimism, not reality. So keep that in mind. This is red flag number three. LTV too high. I like to tell you about these ones because I'm in some of them, and that is how I learned. I don't recommend it. Another moment when Morby methods get dangerous, when the combined leverage exceeds what the asset can survive. So you have a high LTV and a low margin, you have a fragile deal. High leverage is not automatically bad, but it must be paired with a strong margin, a durable net operating income, NOI, or clear exit options. If you stack leverage on a thin deal, Morby becomes a liability. Red flag number four. Seller is flexible, but the asset is not. This one traps a lot of people. Seller flexibility does not equal deal flexibility. A seller can offer zero payments, long balloons, big carries, but if the asset itself has capped rents, high expenses, or operational drag, then you're just moving risk around, not eliminating it. Don't get caught with that flag. Red flag, and I should probably actually write down, seller flexible, seller, and not the deal or the asset. Moving on to red flag number five. If you're using a Morby to fix a bad entry math, that's a common misuse. People use Morby methods to justify overpaying, thin DSCR, and no margin, and they say the structure makes it work. No, the structure makes it possible. It does not make it safe. So math has to agree. You can't fix bad math with a Morby method. What is a Morby method that actually makes sense? So when should you use a Morby method? When your asset cash flows clean, your seller carry improves the returns, your refi works without heroics, or hopium as I like to call it, margin exists before creativity. In other words, a Morby method should improve a good deal, not rescue a bad one. So here's the takeaway. Morby methods are powerful, but without discipline, power destroys deals. The best investors don't ask, can I Morby this? They ask, should I? And that distinction is where real deal engineers live. If you're trying to figure out whether a Morby method actually helps your deal or quietly makes it more dangerous, that's exactly the kind of structuring work I do. Subscribe if you want more real breakdowns, and don't force creativity where discipline is required.